Hello guys, welcome back to today's video. We are going to talk about JavaScript document DOM manipulation. So DOM is document object manipulation. So we are going to discuss this code that I've written. Okay, so we are going to scroll through and get to understand this code, what it means. Okay, so we have the variable which has under div1. So we can see the HTML code. So the HTML code, let me make it more simpler, more strategic. So we're going to do this. Okay, it's not a must, but I need to. I forgot. Just a minute. So they need to be inside the body tag. So let's expand this. Okay, let's expand this. Okay, because we don't need the terminal. Okay, so we are going to say that inside the HTML, the document object model, the document object manipulation model, it involve is like a structure, is like a tree. Okay, so when we are going to discuss about the DOM, okay, we are going to discuss about the DOM. We are going to discuss about the DOM. Basically, document object model is a programming interface for web documents. When a web page is loaded, the browser creates a tree-like structure. Okay, so this tree contains nodes. Okay, and these nodes we call them objects. Okay, and we say an objects like it contains elements inside it. So it may contain tags, which it has like divs, paragraphs, or titles like h1, h2, etc. It may contains attributes like the ID, the classes, the styles of paragraphs, okay, and the text inside the element, okay. So in this scenario, the DOM manipulation using JavaScript, we can manipulate the DOM using methods like get elements by ID, okay. So we can say get element by ID. On bracket, you specify the ID of the class or the div. The div goes by the ID. It will manipulate all element that is contained inside the div, or you get element by the class name. Okay, so you put inside the class, or get element by tags, or get element by query selector, or you just get element by just selecting all the CSS. Okay, so we are going to discuss this code. We're going to discuss this code. We're going to discuss this code. So what this statement just means, okay, we are going to discuss this statement. You can see that the variable div1, okay. So under the JavaScript, the div1 has got element inside it. If you come to the HTML, the div ID, the div1 has the border solid blue, okay. So all these elements, okay, all these element inside the div1, all these element inside the div1, which is the paragraphs, okay. So these okay, we are going to say that all these paragraph elements are going to be manipulated, okay, are going to be manipulated because they are under the div1, okay, they are under the div1. So all these elements under the border, under this div1, that the solid, okay, that section, that border section, that all those elements inside that box, they are going to be manipulated. And we are going to see that the unicycle, we can see the unicycle is a class, okay. The unicycle is a class. So when we say the unicycle is a class, a class in HTML, in HTML you just press, when you want to specify a class, you just specify by just giving it what you just press full stop, okay. So all those elements inside this class tag, all these elements inside this class tag, okay, this class, all these elements inside this class by the name unicycle, they will be manipulated. Okay, so all these we're going to say all these elements inside these paragraphs, all elements in the paragraph of this text, of this HTML text, they are going to be manipulated using what? Using when you are going to use these when we are going to use this element, this document object, this DOM element. Okay, so we are going to so we are going to discuss about the all elements that are being contained in the class unicycle. So when you are going to call in the JavaScript, okay, in the JavaScript we have the class unicycle. So all elements inside the class unicycle, the class unicycle will be will be manipulated. Okay, so when we are going to use the query selector, the query selector selects the first element with the class unicycle. Okay, so we are going to, when we are using the query selector, we're going to select the first element with the class. So when you are going to use the query selector all, the query selector all has the class unicycle and has the div2. Okay, has the div2 element. So we are going to select all unicycle element plus the div2 container. Okay, so well, the code variable, which is the initialized by the text that has element hello world, which is a header. So means that there is a new content that we need to add to the code. Okay, yeah. So the variable division one, div one, as we are going to manipulate it. Okay, so this code grab the all the blue border. Inside the blue border, useful one to know the elements